Did you know that a teenage influencer once begged TikTok investigators to help her find the person who killed her parents, only for the world to later discover that she might have been the killer herself? This isn't a movie, it's a real story. The chilling case of a 17-year-old girl named Sarah Grace Patrick from a quiet town called Tyus in Georgia, USA. Her story shocked the entire internet, not just because of what she did, but because of how far she went to keep her secret. Sarah lived with her mother, Kristen, and her stepfather, James Brock. To everyone who knew them, they looked like the perfect family, a nice house, friendly neighbors, and Sunday church smiles. Online, Sarah seemed like any other teenager, sharing videos about makeup, friends, and little life updates. But if you looked closely, her posts sometimes carried strange captions, things about pain, loneliness, and feeling trapped. No one thought much of it, until one February night in 2025, when everything changed. It was late when police received a call from a terrified girl. On the other end of the line, she cried, "My parents, they're dead! Someone broke in!" When officers arrived at the Brock home, they found a horrifying scene. Kristen and James were both lying dead inside their house. There were gunshot wounds, blood on the floor. But strangely, nothing was stolen. No windows were broken. The door wasn't forced open. And there was Sarah, trembling, crying, telling officers she'd been in her room, heard loud bangs, and when she ran out, she saw her parents on the floor. She said someone must have broken in, shot them, and fled. Her story seemed believable. She was just a teenage girl who had lost her family in the most tragic way imaginable. Everyone felt sorry for her. The neighbors brought food. Reporters talked about the tragedy, and soon social media joined in. Sarah went online just days later, posting old pictures of her parents with heartbreaking captions. "I miss you, Mom and Dad. My life will never be the same." She posted videos of herself crying softly to sad songs. The internet flooded her comments with love and prayers. "Stay strong, Sarah. We're here for you. You'll get through this." But then, something strange started happening. Sarah didn't just post about missing her parents. She began investigating their deaths. She started messaging true crime influencers on TikTok, people who usually covered cold cases and unsolved murders. She told them her parents had been murdered and that the police weren't finding answers. She said things like, "Can you talk about my parents' murder? No one's been caught." Some influencers said she sent messages asking them to look up the Brock case. She even told one of them, "They were my parents." Soon, TikTok creators were talking about it. The Brock murders became a trending topic. Everyone was trying to solve the mystery. They posted theories, interviews, timelines. Some even praised Sarah for her bravery, the young girl fighting for justice for her family. But behind all that sympathy, detectives were quietly uncovering a very different story. Investigators began to notice little things that didn't add up. There were no signs of a break-in. The bullets were fired from inside the house. The angle of the gunshots suggested the shooter was someone the victims knew, someone close. Sarah's story also started to change a little each time she told it. First, she said she heard 2 gunshots. Then, she said 3. At one point, she mentioned she thought she saw a shadow in the hallway. Then came the biggest discovery of all. When investigators tested for gunshot residue, they found traces of it on Sarah's hands. Later, they found the weapon hidden inside the house, and her fingerprints were on it. Everything started to crumble. The girl everyone saw as a victim was now a suspect. Police questioned her again, and this time her tears couldn't hide the facts. Eventually, she was arrested and charged with 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of aggravated assault. News of her arrest spread fast. The same internet that once comforted her now turned on her. True crime creators who had made videos defending her started deleting them. Followers were shocked. Comments flooded in. "Wait, she did it? How could she lie like that?" The sympathy turned to outrage. But the biggest question remained. Why? Why would a teenage girl kill her parents? So far, no clear motive has been confirmed. Some say she argued constantly with her mother and stepfather. Others believe it was about control, or money, or attention. Friends later told reporters that Sarah sometimes said she couldn't live there anymore. Whatever the reason, it's hard to understand what drove her to do something so dark. Even after the murders, Sarah kept posting online, crying, quoting Bible verses about forgiveness, and asking strangers to pray for her. She built an image of the broken daughter, the grieving survivor. In reality, she was carefully shaping a story, one that kept her out of suspicion while gaining her sympathy and attention. She fooled millions. When she was finally arrested, she didn't resist. She reportedly asked one haunting question. Did they find out because of TikTok? Investigators later said that her own social media activity helped them piece things together. The timing of her posts, her comments, even her changes in language gave away clues that contradicted her statements. In the end, the same platform she used to seek attention exposed her lies. Now, Sarah is waiting for trial. Prosecutors say the evidence is strong. Her lawyers claim she's mentally unstable, that she doesn't remember what happened. Some believe she snapped in anger. Others think she planned it carefully. Whatever the truth is, it shows how far social media can blur the line between reality and performance. Sarah Grace Patrick's story isn't just about a crime. It's about the dark side of the internet, where tragedy can become content and lies can look like brief. She wanted to be seen, to be heard, to be the center of attention. And in the end, she got exactly that, but at the cost of everything. So next time you scroll through your feed and see someone crying on camera, telling their story to millions of strangers, remember this one, because sometimes the person asking for sympathy might be hiding the darkest secret of all. This is the story of Sarah Grace Patrick, the girl who pretended to hunt her parents' killer, only to become the prime suspect herself.